The reason why I like more and more things. A translated short essay. He said he liked this song, and hence I began to pay attention to pop music. I began to like eating chocolate mint ice cream. It rained every time we met, and hence I began to love rainy days. I began to love poetry collections. The self that I am now is sculpted by those whom I've liked before.
And we're rolling.
Welcome to Someplace Warm. Today we're going to talk about love and the lessons that love can teach us. Why is love so profound? Definitions surrounding love, millennials, and dating. Yes, hi Eric, welcome back from
you
your
missed out
very...
one.
Wait, because...
The lessons that love taught us.
because I already 讲 already.
I wasn't paying attention.
Eric, can you pay attention or not?
Sorry, Cher. Okay, go on.
Are we going on?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so Eric's
Sorry,
sim,
I came
Eric's
back.
sim has been like laughing for the past 5 minutes, and this is actually our second take.
Yeah, I'm not very professional. Also because I'm very nervous. Like it's been a while since I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we
but-
just came back from a holiday.
Yes, welcome back, Clara.
Separately.
Clara went to Norway, right?
No, I went to Germany and Denmark, but I bought you the cheese from Norway.
Oh, that is so complicated.
Yeah.
Right, I just went to Germany. Mine's more simple. One.
Yeah, he had a lot of sausages. Anyway,
A lot of sausages.
this week's podcast is entitled Recipes from an Ex-Lover.
Why ex-lover?
Why
And
ex-lover?
why recipe?
Why this title?
Yes,
is
isn't it love letter? Why recipe?
Okay, firstly, you want to expose your love letter, meh?
Mm-hmm.
The one, right? See, actually, do you remember that when we first ideated this, like months ago,
We wanted to read our love letters.
you were volunteering your own love letter. I didn't,
Yes,
you were
I-
volunteering your own.
And then after that, I just back out because it's too cheesy already.
Yeah, actually,
Cannot.
I didn't even ask you because I know that you were
Yeah.
psychologically backing out from it
I was
also.
like, huh?
Yeah.
有咩?
有咩? Did this happen? Okay, so this title is inspired from an experience that I had. I was visiting my German friend, not this time round, but like
Guten Tag.
10 years ago, in her family home, because that time we were uni students, right? And one morning when I was there, she was making Dutch pancakes for me, and I was like, oh, this is very nice, because you know, like,
Oh, is it the one that you sprinkle with
yeah, sugar,
sugar
icing,
and then,
sugar
and then
and
the
stuff.
cinnamon?
Yeah.
It tastes like French toast,
You can put any toppings actually,
but
but
berry compote.
yeah, you can
Oh.
put any toppings.
What is it called? It's like a K one. I went there and eat before.
Pannekuchen.
No, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yes, probably
Anyway,
that.
so it's very thin. European sort of pancakes are very thin, and the Dutch are known for their pancakes, right?
Right.
So I was like, she's like, yeah, I know we are German, but this is a Dutch recipe from my father's ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
And I thought, hey, when I think about it, it's very weird because for a lot of people, it's usually very awkward to talk about ex, and especially in front of your kids or your current spouse or partner, right? You'll be like your ex. Then you also don't know, like some people like idiotic always talk about their ex in front of their partner. Then sometimes their partner might feel
Yes.
uncomfortable.
Alright.
But for this, I when I think about it, it is actually quite nice because now something from the ex can actually become a family recipe.
Yes.
Don't you think it's a very like amazing thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like our identity is, shaped by
Yeah. the various people we encounter, and I'm
Along the
sure
way, yeah.
in romantic relationships, right, it is a sort of quite an in-depth kind of relationship, and it will certainly shape you in various ways. And so I think like who we are now, when we talk about identity the other time, right, it's also shaped by the people we are very intimately connected with, even if the relationship later on became
non-existent,
sour or non-existent, and even if they are not in our lives now, because it might be a scary ex, or it just you just didn't happen, that's why it's your ex, right?
Yeah, that's
but,
why.
But yeah, it's like the person become a part of you.
Yeah, or like when you regret like introducing a certain place, for example, like you cannot go back to the same place anymore.
Yeah. So like this also brings back to the vignette of in the beginning of this sort of podcast, that the why I like more and more things, according to the author, is because that who she is sculpted by those that she liked before, or she was in love with.
Aww,
and I thought this is a very interesting way to start a podcast and to think about love.
Yes. Is that the reason why you think love is so profound? Because it's like along the way of our life's journey, we collect memories and people.
I think so, but it's not that I think that love is profound. I'm asking the question now, why is love so profound, framed in such a profound way in the society? If you realize, right, a lot of movies, books, and
wow, it's such a big market.
And songs is about love, and it's about like romantic love.
Yes.
Right? It's not about like I sing about you're my brother and my sister. It's like mostly it's about romantic love.
Yeah.
Why is it that our society is so obsessed with this concept of love? And I'm just thinking about it. And of course with every cultural product like artwork or song or whatever, then they
have how love songs are usually more marketable, like Adele, for example. Like she's just known for her very sad song, and once she comes with a happy song, nobody cares, right?
Yeah, correct.
It's never mind, I'll find.
Oh my God, Eric, I'll have to edit this because
someone like you. Hey, I sing better than this one.
Yeah, I can attest that Eric, he sings a lot better than this, right? So yes, and I think like if you watch a movie or different movies or films or drama or books about love, right? Each director or writer, they have their own take about love.
Correct.
And the market is so saturated with all this. I'm just wondering why.
Is it because we are born lonely, and then there is always this need to, like finding a soulmate, or there's something missing, we have to find our other half. That's why we have all this like desire.
I mean, maybe 10 years ago in my life, then I would be thinking, maybe now also, because I'm always a skeptical person, right? So I would just think that, is it that it is a natural, like we are born to find a partner or what? Or it is sculpted by the society also? Like, because they're so dominant, right?
I think it's a bit of both. I think if let's say the society didn't tell us that, we should go and, I guess, find a partner, settle down and all that, then we might not have that kind of construct in our head, right? But I think innately we also, I don't know, for biological reason, we want to find somebody to, create the next generation.
So is lust the same as love, and
Precisely.
is lust the same as romance, that kind of thing?
So I think that begs a second question. I think how do you define love, I guess? Is love like only romantic love, or is like can you define it by a larger perspective? For example, love for humanity, for example.
Of course you can lah, but love for humanity is like, you see, that's the problem. If you have like love for the humanity as a movie, right, compared to
nobody will
who
watch.
will watch, right? Like then it will become a documentary of some sort. Then like you'll be able to sell your product. Why?
Right.
Yeah. So and maybe love as presented in our society, the dominant idea is that there is this thing called love, which will coincide fully with lust. which will coincide fully with romance.
Yes, but don't you
Right?
think like the idea of love is actually created by us to also sell goods and services? For example, like Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
Disney, you know, fairy tales always tell you you'll find your Prince Charming at the end of the story, live happily ever after.
Yeah. Do you believe all this when you were young?
I don't have that awareness.
I also don't leh. As in, I am not the kind of girl who like dream about wedding lah. Then like maybe because I was from single parent also. I don't know.
Yeah. But regardless, there is still a lot of money can be made from love, like concept of romance and love.
Yeah.
But my own take is that love is a more enduring and more not permanent but more like long-term kind of I guess quality compared to lust and romance. I feel like romantic feelings is very fleeting. It's a form of emotion, right? You can feel romantic for this person today, tomorrow certain variables change, you may not feel the same. That's why people get tired of one another.
Correct.
Right? But love is more of a more enduring thing that I think gets through I guess, how do I put it? How do I explain?
Can stand the test of time.
Yeah, stand the test. Sorry, I'm a bit drunk.
Still drunk from just now?
drunk from milk tea.
I think so, which maybe I will share a little bit more later. I think that behind this also, okay, so I don't think that love is something that be all and end all that will last through time. I think underneath this thing called love, right, is a lot of hard work.
Yes.
And effort also,
yes.
so that you manifest this or
maintain.
Yeah.
But if let's say hard work or effort or even fate is missing, right, you can still love a person without being together with him or her. That is still also love, but it manifests in a different form.
Okay, example.
So for example, if let's say by circumstance you cannot be together with your ex already, for example, but you still love the person.
Yeah. I get what you mean. What you mean.
Right, LDR for example.
Yeah.
Right. Now these days there's pandemic, right? And a lot of LDR couples face a lot of problems because of them being in different countries, they're not able to see one another. And that forms real life challenges and for them to decide to maybe part ways.
Correct, because of circumstances.
Right.
Yeah, so okay, I think ideally the love can manifest in terms of two people reciprocating this love and putting in hard work and whatever.
And it can be one-sided too.
Yeah, and I mean normally, the ideal it can materialize, which is usually in this circumstance, then it will last longer, right? In a physical space also.
Correct.
Right? But in the case where, and it happens a lot also, it is a love that maybe because of circumstances you have to be apart, right? Or it just didn't work anymore for some reason.
Values change.
Lives, people change. And it doesn't mean that the love is not there.
Yes.
It's just being shaped in another way, be it like one person having an eternal soft spot for an ex,
right?
Or it become a history that both of you shared that was there in a certain point in time, but it's just not now.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So
profound. Yeah. Okay. Initially, right, when we were thinking about doing a podcast on love and relationship, I think
a bit apprehensive, right?
Both of us were apprehensive about it because actually, honestly speaking, I don't talk about this topic to people very much for some reason.
It's a very vulnerable thing to say.
Yeah, so when I share about things like this, I feel very vulnerable, which is rare because I think Eric and I, right, we share quite openly and candidly about a lot of things to people around us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Why is it so hard for you to share about love?
I don't know. Maybe it's because since young, my mother would not approve of me being in a relationship like before uni or like, and then it just became a habit that I will just
It doesn't help that our Asian society also
Yeah.
doesn't really talk about love freely, you know.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then I think as time goes by, then I lack the vocabulary
I know,
to
what you mean,
talk to. And then also, when you are younger, especially, I think now we are at the age where we can talk about it openly, right? Talk about different forms of love and that kind of thing, different circumstances. But I think when we were young, sometimes when you are in an environment where like people know each other, then you just want to protect yourself also and protect the love or the blossoming love kind of thing. Then my approach was just not talk about it and
so that you could protect it.
keep it under wraps. Then nothing dramatic will happen.
Wrong. Okay, so how comfortable will you be if, let's say, we talk about you and Jonathan, for example?
Now it's okay because everybody knows we are married. Yeah, but also another.
Oh, we just chop stamp already, then no need care already, right?
No, but okay. Another thing is that I will share to a certain extent. Certain things I will not share because to me, right, when it comes to a relationship, right, I have to be very wary of what I share because since it's a relationship, then it is about the other person also.
Correct.
And
you
if
hold
I-
a certain regard to it.
And if I don't have the consent also of the other party, then it's not very nice to share certain things.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
that's my...
PDPA.
Yeah, that's my
Huh? You never get Jonathan to sign
then
a
the
non-disclosure
PDA.
form.
Okay, later I get, too late, it's too late.
Too late. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have any dating history, for example, to share?
No, I'm not going to share about my dating history. We are going to delete this. Okay, I can see whether I want to delete this, but I think the thing is like, I don't have a relationship whereby I 翻脸.
Okay.
Even okay,
Right.
so
like ended very badly.
yeah, and it's also because we go out on dates, but different. I mean, with different people across our 30, 32 years of life, 31 years of life.
Yes.
Soon, I am a person who can make up my mind very well. Like if
Whether
it's
this
also
person can
it's the
make it.
same as my friendship philosophy.
Right. Whether this person can make it as my spouse or not.
That's not maybe.
Right.
But as in, I define a relationship in a more serious way also. So to me, right, if we go out, like it's the constant person who would be going out with or had gone out with you for 2-3 years or even 1 year or even a few months. And even if it's just that person, then I won't think it as like anything more than where the comfortable stage that we are at. It's also a sort of like, I don't know whether it's also protecting myself. It's my approach to friendship, right? You my friend or not friend.
Yeah.
And then it's
So now it's like you my friend or you not my spouse. Not future spouse.
I also don't know whether it's the future spouse thing also because I don't know whether you recall the conversation that we had when before I got married. Cause which one, right? I think I sat down with you or I cannot remember lah. Then I say I don't know whether marriage is something for me or not.
Did I tell you not to get married?
You never tell me. You just very nice. You listen to me. I think I had that conversation with you because to me, I'm not a person who think that everybody should get married and partner up, man.
Yes.
I'm okay with like being alone. I'm okay with living like being single.
Yes.
And I didn't anticipate marriage in my life.
So it's not planned at all.
It is planned to a certain extent that before we started our LDR, then okay, if you want to be serious, then this is the way to go. But if I don't want, then I just be single lah. So
Which is fine lah. You
Which is also
didn't
fine.
have a roadmap. Like, I need to get married by 30, have kids
No,
by
no,
30,
no,
32,
no.
then
No.
blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so when I was younger, I know that if I want to get married, it will be after 30 years old, when I'm 30 years old, because that's not my priority at all. Yeah, but then it just happened. So I am a person who like to plan my life quite a lot. I didn't know that I would get married so early. It's just,
So is Jonathan your type?
no, not at all.
Oh my god, tell me more. I think the listeners want to know.
Okay, my type is, okay, the people that I've went out with, they're never my type. Is it because okay, I'm not chobu also. Then my
You're
type.
very
Okay.
chill.
Oh, thank
you.
Okay, never mind. I shouldn't continue. My type is like must be taller than me. Okay, guys.
Physical wise.
Okay, so talk about fat shaming and all that in our previous episode, right? Because I'm a bigger.
Fat shamer.
I'm not a fat shamer. I'm a bigger frame girl. I'm fat and I'm taller than
average girls.
Yeah. I don't feel a sense of security if I go out with someone who is shorter than me.
So actually, it's not the height; it's the sense of security.
Yeah, but I've not experienced a sense of security with people who are shorter than me lah.
Right, but you can also have a sense of insecurity with taller guys too, right?
But it's the physical security. See, I feel like I am a very
what
surface person if I say that.
Whatever lah.
But no, but
some
it's
guys
really
like big boobs one.
Correct,
right?
but it's really that. Really, like if you are shorter, then physically I don't feel secure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So Jonathan, that definitely clicked.
But then like my type is not a white person.
Your type is Korean, is it?
No, it's like okay, if you talk about eye candy, Gen Z's eye candy means what? This is our
eye candy.
lingo.
Oh, you mean Gen Z has a different lingo?
They are not called eye candies anymore. But
what are they called?
I don't know lah. Whatever they call sheep. No, wrong. Don't know lah. Sheep is also not their language anymore.
Okay.
Anyway, my eye candy type is the eyes big one. Then must have
浓眉大眼.
Yeah, correct. Then the eyebrows must be quite thick, and then good smile. Then taller than me kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
金城武.
Like the 5566 person.
Which one? The uncle already know.
No, there's one very young. I show you the
Xu
photo.
Mengze.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
That one my type. That kind.
Sure.
Yeah, he's like very underwhelmed, but
okay.
my type.
I'm not judging.
Yeah.
I'm just not enthusiastic.
So, thank you. Yeah, but then I think, but in reality, obviously, because I'm not chobo, then obviously this kind of thing, like just eye candy only. So, it just, I think for me, the important thing that I look out for, that will attract me the most is the personality.
Correct. I was waiting for you to say that. Yeah.
Why? So you, in your mind, like I am a more like person with a more depth than the.
Of course.
Oh my god! It must be taller than me and has big eyes and all that. Yeah.
I mean, okay.
And then also, okay, I tend to everybody that I have been out with either same age or older than me.
I feel like everybody has a type, right?
Yeah.
And there's no fault in being very expressive or being upfront about what you desire in the qualities of a potential partner.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. But that is just surface, right?
Yeah.
So, but what actually, stand the test of time is really just who you are as a person.
Correct.
Because looks fade, right?
Yeah, but I don't know lah. But I mean, in real life, how can I don't know?
Precisely, but looking good and getting the first chance of having an impression is important too. Like you can't even go the first one, right? Like you can't even meet the first criteria. Like allow people to have that chance to also know you. Then it's difficult for your personality to shine too.
Not true lah. I think people who like got to know me and they obviously must see past the look. And actually, yeah, honestly
that's
speaking,
that's why I say in the pursuit of like potential mate, right? I mean, looks is important, but that it shouldn't be like the most important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think naturally, I don't know about you, but I will obviously I know the type, but then naturally when things unfold, then it obviously doesn't match with the physical outlook. Like people that I'm naturally close to will be those who can vibe with me lah.
Yeah, so tell me about why Jonathan, although not being your type, was able to win your heart.
Okay, like there's this stupid millennial or Gen Z thing, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe last year, I started seeing on social media like, oh my god, I manifested my
dream
boyfriend. Okay, actually, what I did was one day, I asked myself, I vacillated between, if I stay single, right, I will live a very exciting life. I would travel, I will do that. But if I want to settle down, then I probably have to start not opening myself out. Oh my god, it sounds so sus. Like opening my heart to people and being open to meeting people. Talking to people on a different level, that kind of thing. So one day, it was very dumb. I was just jotting, like I like to write stuff also, right? Then I say, okay, if I ever get married one day, what kind of husband do I want?
What was the first thing you wrote?
I forgot, but a few years ago, I saw it. The notebook is not with me lah.
Yes.
It's at my mother's house,
Yes.
like all my old stuff.
Yes.
Then I saw that, I got shocked because it matches.
Oh my
Like,
God.
90% of the list matches.
Can you share with us some of the
So,
qualities?
for example, the person needs to be kind.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Actually, the only physical
It's tall, right?
thing that I wrote down was tall. Because like the other really don't matter, but I think feeling secure is quite important
Yes.
to me. So the only physical attribute that I wrote is like must be taller than me.
Sure.
And then after that is the person must be kind. Because that is really very important to me.
Yeah.
The person needs to be filial to parents.
Which he is.
Then things like I forgot what are the other stuff, but then it matches.
Basically, you manifested Jonathan.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh my god, then I manifest my own husband.
And then it turns out
he turns out to be white lah. I never stick.
you never put in your notebook
I mean, like,
non-white.
Yeah, I mean, the race doesn't matter also, but it just turned out that that person, is him lor or something.
So sweet. And then you guys went through a period of LDR.
Correct.
Was it difficult?
It was very difficult.
I'm sure. I was part of your journey. Not really totally lah, but I hear of your stories of how difficult it was.
Yeah. It's okay. I think I tell when I share with students, if they're very interested in LDR, I don't know why. They're like, oh my God, how do I get a sugar daddy or a white man? I'm like, guys.
That's not LDR, okay? That's like,
white man.
Yeah, that's SPG. Get your acronyms right.
Yeah, sorry. But they also want to find sugar daddy at the same time.
My God.
How do I deal with it? Is it? What was your question?
Yeah, how was the experience
The
like?
experience is, it can be another episode, but all I want to say is that ingredients for LDR, number one, both of you must be independent. So you cannot be someone who is very, very needy. Secondly, the LDR must have an end point, have an end date. Yeah, if you don't have, I think near the end of our LDR, like it was you either one of, like you have to move here.
So you had a talk.
Yeah. So he either have to move here because I had a bond lah. I cannot like if I sell my money, it's also not enough. Sell my body, it's not enough to fund the bond also. Or we have to call it quits.
Right. So
yeah,
that was that conversation that you had.
Correct.
And what was his response?
He said yes, he will move here.
That's really 真爱.
I don't know. And then also the second thing, I don't know what is true love. Also.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's in essence that is it. Yeah, I wanted to ask you also. I think you look like someone who go beyond looks as well.
Oh, no, looks so important for me.
Really?
Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a very superficial person. Really like.
Okay, so
you're not remotely good looking, right? Like, okay, you're like not above average, right? 真的很难跟你沟通.
I think the basic one must be well kept.
Actually,
correct?
Is well kept, well groomed, know how to take care of yourself. I think that is like a mark or a quality of
your habits also. Yeah. Then height, you have any
height preference?
Yeah, height preference.
I mean, I'm so old already, right? I try not to have too many qualities.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if not, 我越来越没有人要, like nobody will want. So,
no, hello, Eric. I think you will be highly sought after.
Yeah, from here, the queue is until the Punggol Nasi Lemak at Kovan.
Yes, I'm sure. Do you want me to?
No, they'll be queuing up for the Nasi Lemak, not me.
I think Eric finds it annoying that sometimes I act like Ajuma, want to introduce people to him.
No lah, I don't think
marry him off.
No, I don't think
you are. So I can continue suggesting lah.
You continue suggesting and I continue judging you.
Okay, see, he judging me. Yeah. So beyond the being well kept, well groomed, must have a basal level of decent.
Basal, is basal or what?
In geography, yes, sorry. Like
BASIL, right?
BASAL, like the basal, like not the herb.
Not the basil.
Some men's. Okay. Another thing that attracts me.
Yeah.
Because my nose is very sensitive.
Okay.
Like smell will attract me. Yes. Not BO lah.
Not the pheromones kind, is it?
Maybe like I don't know whether like your the scent that maybe they put will be mixed with pheromone. I don't know so much.
Right.
Yeah, but smell will attract me. Will it attract you?
Okay lah. Okay. Not a main factor.
Okay.
But I think the main factor is really like the intellectually, are you able to Yeah, I see your eyes light up.
Sorry, I'm scared people judge me. I think on my list I put like the person should be at least able to
have a decent conversation,
yeah.
Or critical thinking,
correct,
or like,
correct.
think for yourself, independent thinking.
Correct.
Yeah, these are very important qualities.
To you lah.
Yeah.
So I think the person cannot be someone that I cannot have in-depth conversation or intellectual conversation with.
Correct.
It will be quite difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult because the whole day you just see this person, what you want to eat? Where shall we go?
There's no depth in the relationship.
Which is fine by a lot of other people too, but I guess it's not my kind of pursuit lah.
Right.
You know, I want that kind of excitement, that kind of like, I can, try new things and then discuss about it.
Yeah.
Or like, find new experiences to discuss, talk, dissect the experience. And
there was once I asked my husband, because our political leanings are quite similar.
Oh, that's nice.
It just happened. Obviously, I didn't write down. The person must be left-leaning in my manifesting list, right? It
must wear blue.
Blue in different countries can mean different things. So I asked him that, do you think that we are able to vibe if we are on the opposite end of the political spectrum?
Okay, if let's say political spectrum is an important, I think, yardstick for you, then I guess it matters. But if it's just it doesn't matter lah, then I guess it's fine.
Because if both people have very different and they have very strong views and it affects their life, right? Wow, I think that will be interesting.
I think the implication of real life will be quite interesting. Okay, so for example, the manifestation of maybe a left-wing person, right, would be maybe the person more chill, maybe, I don't know lah. Like, the attitude towards work, which is what we're going to talk in the following chapter, right? Episode. Our attitude towards work, our attitude towards money, our attitude towards what people think of us.
Our attitude towards COVID.
Yes, right?
Yeah, actually, okay, so actually
they're different.
Political leanings do diffuse and permeate and manifest into different like life habits and thinking.
Correct.
And like abortion versus anti-abortion lah, that kind of thing also even. Okay. I didn't think about this until like one day I just realized, But
it'll be interesting because then for people like you and John, what brings you all together is basically the differences that you all had too as well. Because right? Explain a little bit more, like in terms of culture, in terms of nationality.
We do have commonalities also, but I think people cannot be twins, right? Even twins have differences. We will just discuss with each other but so far, touch wood, we have not shouted at each other before, that kind of thing, because I think but
so don't you think that having certain differences also brings color and vibrancy?
If not, we will never learn
Precisely.
If we just agree, then we'll never learn. Then we'll not learn anything. Like myself and yourself, we will also have differences and different experiences, but then we just share.
So from a compatibility point of view, 很难讲 it's very hard to say whether are two politically leaning differently people, are they compatible? Because then again, what is it?
I'm just saying that if you have strong opinions about political leaning, if you're apathetic, then both people are apathetic, then okay.
Precisely, but I guess we also must agree to disagree. I think that's a very healthy way to sustain a relationship too.
Yeah.
Right, like for you and Jonathan, maybe there are certain things that you guys don't really see to eye to eye.
Yeah, you compromise, I think, in the end. Yeah,
respect each other's viewpoints lah. Compromise is so 勉强, right?
But when I talk about how love is hard work, then there will be compromise. And it's inevitable. That's why it's hard work.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think the reality of it.
And do you think the people in our generation, right, and even younger ones, they're ready for this kind of hard work?
I don't think it's a generation thing. Okay. So are they ready? I think I know where you're coming from. So when we talk about love, the notion of love, just now I talk about love, conflating with the ideal lah. If you think about it in the circle, right, the Venn diagram, love, like if there are 3 circles, right, love, romance, lust, then everything together. So this societal idea of love, and then this societal idea of love also gets institutionalized into people think that if 2 people love each other, then you should get married, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but I think that more and more young people like us, we are questioning whether love can only take this form, which is that ultimately the end goal is marriage. Yeah. So when you ask that question, I don't think is a like, generation thing, like work hard or not, is that there are many more options beyond marriage that
these days,
that millennials accept.
For example,
you just move
Open
in together,
relationships.
That one I also watch a YouTube about like the
polyamorous
relationship, or just dating for a very long time, or dating on and off, or then also there are some other. I'm going to burp in the mic.
Burp lah. You got a lot of gas.
You hear ASMR?
I want to fart on the mic,
Can. I was recording online lecture.
Okay.
And then I just burp like that. And sorry, I just burp everybody. And then it's recorded. It will be played for the.
And if they accept you for your burping, I guess that's love, lor.
They have no choice, man. If they listen to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess.
So where were we?
About this generation, and that like different format of love.
Yeah. So I don't think that I think that we do acknowledge that marriage is not the end goal.
No.
But then again, there's this generational tension that our parents think that marriage is the end goal, and then actually if you look at our peers, right, a lot of people are not married. Some of them are divorced. Some of them cannot get married because of it's not legal in Singapore. Many different situations which doesn't lead to love being
conducive,
a marriage being an end goal. Some people just asexual also what? What do you want them to do? Like just find another person and so there's this tension lah, once again, that we accept that there are many different
types of relationships.
Many different outcomes of relationships. Relationship doesn't always consist of the lust and romance. Some got lust only, some got romance, some last a bit longer, some on and off. So once we accept that, right, we all accept that, but then our parents haven't accepted it, so that's why every Chinese New Year is a high stress point also.
几时结婚?
When are you getting married? How are you having kids and all that? So I think that's what
right.
I think another thing that because of this, right, a lot of my friends at our age, right, who are single, they tell me that they are very exhausted.
Why?
Do you feel exhausted?
Yeah, you mean as a single person?
As a single person, they feel exhausted.
From what? Dating? Or exhausted from being alone?
Some of them exhausted from the social pressures of needing to find someone.
Okay.
And questionings from people. Okay, so in the office setting, like people of like in the 30s, right? They will always, this person can get married, find him a wife lah.
Oh, that's so irritating.
Yeah, and then they will always like assume that the end goal is to get married in the first place. Yeah, find him a wife lah. Then I'm like, firstly, does the person even want to get married? Secondly, is the person even straight?
Rude.
So rude, right? And then so that's one. And then secondly, those people who are really trying, right? Especially with your dating apps nowadays.
Yes.
People do tell me that it's very exhausting to keep meeting people after people.
Yes.
And then you have to repeat the same story. You have to find the sort of synergy in that during that one date itself.
Correct.
Even your wallet suffers, and some of the males in heterosexual relationships find it like every single new date, like they
They have to
bring
pay
out,
for
they
it.
have to pay, that kind of thing.
Well, that's their own ego, right? I mean,
But
no
some of
girls
the
expect.
well,
Okay, if girls expect it, then I guess 要讲啦. You must say right?
yeah.
Right?
But some girls also don't expect that. I mean, I'm an anomaly, Eric.
Which is
by
why
the
I
way,
like you. I only have you as I have this type of friends like you.
I paid for my first date with Jonathan also.
Well done. Do you also pay for your own wedding?
Yeah, we 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
House also 50-50.
Yeah.
So
You're a strong, independent
yeah,
woman.
I'm a strong, independent woman, man. I mean, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It depends on situations also.
Yes.
Yeah. So where was I? Like, yeah.
They're very tired.
How do you? Yeah. Do you feel tired? You don't feel tired?
To some extent, I do. I actually relate to meeting new people and then not really getting anywhere with like the relationship status lah. However, I feel that there was a time in the last 1 or 2 years, especially with COVID, right, that meeting people is even harder. And I guess the isolation makes it even worse. So when I think about the exhaustion, it also has a bit to do with the COVID situation too. Because in the past, right, it's easier to meet new people lah. And then secondly, there was no restrictions whatsoever, right? You can meet wherever you want. But then during this long extended period of isolation, it is starting to make people feel exhausted, and hence that's the reason also why they don't really want to try that hard as well, even if they're on dating apps. So that adds on to the exhaustion too.
Cause like, is it the notion that the world is an uncertain place now, and therefore
wow. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but
as it's the sense that you are getting.
The sense that I'm getting is that it's a blasé feeling. Is that a word? It's a very blah feeling.
It's a very blah feeling. Okay.
Yeah. So even not only with dating, when you're asking whether I am exhausted, I'm exhausted, not just like from the dating perspective, but also with a lot of other things.
Other aspects of your life spilling into, and then as a whole, you're
not so enthusiastic
about things in general,
including meeting new people or like engaging in or having new people in your life, for example. Yeah, so that's just that. That said, we are also presented with a lot of different options as well, especially when you can just simply treat like Tinder or other dating apps, Coffee Meet Bagels, like a meat market lah. You can just talk to whoever that you want to, and then swipe, hoping that they will swipe back, right? And even if they do, you'll be like, okay, so what if I don't continue this conversation with this person? I have another person that I can talk to as well. So that forms that kind of that illusion of options, make people also don't really want to try.
I think like the dating apps, which actually I have not been on before.
Yes, because
somehow I am, because the years that
they started the dating app, you already met John already.
Yeah, when we Tinder first was burgeoning when we started dating.
Yes.
So both of us have not used the dating app before, so we really have no idea how it works. But it seems like then the dating app helped to make the notion of dating into a lower stake thing. Because last time we want to really, when we meet up physically,
correct,
it is a higher stake kind of thing. But then now, because
the stakes are high, man, because you gotta dress up quite well, you gotta find a venue, you gotta meet new people. And because the stakes are high, the sense of mystery is also very exciting. Correct, oh my god, is this person like into me? I quite like that person, but I shy to say. But with technology now, you like this person, you don't like this person, you can tell whether they ghost you or not. And with that, then what's next? And then what's next is not what's next with this person, no, it's like what's next with another person. So it's like person after person, you just feel like a ghost floating around. No? That's the reality of things lah.
That's very interesting because when I was younger, right, the idea is like I thought that I will marry someone or like my long-term partner or like all the romantic relationships will stem from friendship.
Oh, that's a very good
Because
way to
that's
think
how
about it.
because my expect or like how you start to grow fond of each other usually is from whether you can vibe or not.
Yeah,
and whether you can
be
vibe or
friends.
not. And whether you can vibe or not stems from like whether you were friends in the first place.
Yes.
That was my process.
Yes.
But then
you sometimes will friend zone people.
I mean normal also like I mean I also
Unfriend zone.
the friendship episode, like
Yeah.
not everybody my friend in the first place. So yeah, but I mean the dating app means that this notion of like friend kind of thing
Doesn't
it's
exist.
not common anymore. And also our age,
Yeah.
at this age as well.
Yeah.
When you are in your late 20s, early 30s,
Yeah.
then like who believe that like your partner will be your friend? Not necessary. I mean, actually, Jonathan wasn't, like we knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we
Best
started
friends, right?
like for 1 or 2 months, which is like to me it's like
Then he tweet you already lah.
it just happened, lor. It just happened.
Right.
Yeah. So then anything can happen, lah.
Yeah.
Basically, So thinking about that, right? Like I was talking about in the beginning of the episode, like how you are made out of different the people that you encounter in your life, right? Will you be a different person when you are in a relationship? Like, do you carry yourself differently?
Okay, I think things are better when you're in a relationship. I am like a proponent of is it proponent is the right word? I'm a believer lah, of like strong believer of love. And when you are in a loving relationship, right, things starts to become better. That's what I believe. It's not that things sucks now, but things can be better when you're with somebody, because then you have somebody to share wonderful experiences with. That's one. And then the way you look at the world is also not so dreadful.
Okay.
Like maybe they will give you a different perspective of life that you didn't expect to see. So then you're pleasantly surprised. These are the benefits of
being in a relationship.
In love.
Yeah.
Yeah, very hormonal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Then what was your question again?
My question is like, will you be a different person?
Okay.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, I don't think that I'll be a totally different person. But I know people who
Correct.
become a. Okay, so I have friends, right? When they are in love, when they are in a relationship, they disappear.
Correct.
When they come back to, not say come back to me lah. Okay, but when they
Then
appear in my life, right? I know they break up already. So what I'm trying to say here is that yes, there are people who when they're in love, 他就是被那个爱情冲昏脑。
Subtitle.
Okay, so
dizzy in love. When you are dizzy in love.
When you're dizzy in love, right, you possibly may not be yourself.
Like the world is just the two of you.
Precisely.
And wow, I'm at this stage. Okay, like after 3 months.
Yeah. I don't know, but they do disappear from my life. Friends do disappear from my life when they are in love.
I think I was also asking, I think like life habits, I've seen people like that also. That was why I'm asking. And then also maybe because the other half don't like you mixing with other people or opposite gender or that kind of thing.
That's
another level.
That's another level lah.
Yeah.
And if I have a partner like that, I will just.
I think both of us. That's why we like already they are not in our selection.
Precisely.
Least most probably.
Yeah.
Then if we encounter it, I think we will draw boundaries.
Okay.
Quite.
Yeah, guys. If you're listening to our podcast, right? I mean, like, okay. So this goes back to self-love already. You want to be in a relationship, but if you don't love yourself enough to know that some of these things or these boundaries that your partner impose on you, right, is unreasonable, you won't see it one. And as a person of free will, right, how can somebody tell you cannot meet this other friend?
Correct.
Right?
I think some of it, I think the problem is also, okay, at the most blatant level, they will say that you cannot meet other people. But on other levels, a lot of this kind of relationship, it happened that the person gave non-verbal signs or like
cues
cues that makes you feel that I am wrong, is wrong if I go and meet my other friends or I go and meet people of other gender.
Same gender.
Same
the opposite gender.
Or whatever. So I have friends who like guy friends that I previously would have vibe with, and we can talk about a lot of
And then
stuff.
the girlfriend tell them.
But then I know like when they are attached, right? Like the person suddenly there will be a very
Cold.
huge gap between the two of you.
Alright.
And I just feel like pity because
Sure.
it's not that I want to jio you also.
Yes.
It's just that we were already friends
Yes.
before that person came along.
Correct.
And then suddenly like, okay, then we have to be very, very careful.
Got boundaries.
Got boundaries. Then also don't want people or the partner to misunderstand.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Different consideration lah. But if
Correct.
like the partner explicitly tell you that, like you shouldn't hang out with somebody,
Yeah.
I think it's okay, but there needs to be a reason. You need to
Correct.
tell me why.
Correct.
Like
Because maybe, if it's a legit reason, I don't want my boyfriend to hang out with this woman because I really know that this woman is sus, then you just talk about it, but you cannot meet any woman outside.
Yeah.
That kind of thing,
That's crazy.
That's another level.
Yeah.
Okay, so just now I was asking you about this, like, are you another person or can someone become another person, but it's also like, I wanted to ask, will you carry yourself differently, or will your values change? Will you become another person? Like, when you are in a relationship?
I think it depends on how strong you are as a person, as an individual before you enter a relationship. Because if you have a strong belief system before you enter a relationship, right, it's very hard for you to suddenly change because you already know who you are, a very strong awareness of yourself before entering into one. But if let's say you are still exploring yourself through a relationship, there's nothing wrong also. You know, through this relationship, you morph into another person. There's nothing wrong also. It's just a different trajectory of growth. For me, in my past relationships, I have grown because of the relationship and changed because of the relationship. But now, as I am more mature in my thinking, more set in my thinking, maybe the world, the way I see the world is also very set also, then perhaps the next relationship that I am in, I won't change too much. So it depends on what kind of growth stage you are at.
Because I also, as much as I try, I would want my partner to be a nicer person. Like we grow together, and if I have any shortcomings, then I learn to be like, at the end of the day or day by day, I become a more patient person.
It's a positive
things
change,
like that. But I've also seen, like, once a couple get together, like toxic plus toxic equals to a vortex of very scary thing.
Right.
And then it just but to them it's just they are very compatible. But to the outside world, it's like, oh my god, they're encouraging each other to be evil. That kind of thing. So to me, that one is something that I don't want to be lah.
Right.
I don't want ever to be. And
do you
I
have
hope,
friends like that?
Yes.
And when these two people are together, like, what kind of vibe do they give off?
Evil vibe.
How do they affect the group dynamic?
I think all my friends have relatively high EQs. It's also not our place to do anything because it's their choice to embark on this journey together. Then, it's just,
you won't be very close with them anyway, right?
we will be more cautious, I think. So that is it. I think one last thing that I want to sort of touch on, or maybe second last thing because very naggy. How do you deal with the end of a relationship? Heavy question.
Wow, so heavy.
Yeah.
How
Because
do I
when
deal?
something ends,
It's so loaded, this question.
the reason why I ask this question is because since we acknowledge that who we are is made out of the different people in our lives, when something ends, then it can get very painful also.
Yes.
How do you deal with it?
I think I dealt with it differently in every relationship I had. And I think it comes with age as well. How you deal with it comes with a lot of where you are in terms of mental maturity. Obviously when you're young, you just deal with it like it's
throw tantrum, end of the world.
Throw tantrum, end of the world, depressed, feel like dying, like legitly feel like you want to die, that kind.
But it's also a very interesting thing because, like what you say, right, the feeling of being in love in that zone, it's it is a particular form of energy, ma. Then
So
when
it has
the
to go
energy is
something-
gone,
it has to go somewhere. So
Yeah.
it manifests in your how many stages of grief?
I don't know, 5 or what.
5 first, I think it's like
Denial.
then after that, I don't know lah.
Then finally, what acceptance and whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that right. So in terms of how we deal with it, I find that the best way to deal with a relationship ending, for me lah, from my experience, is to know that it is first okay, because 新的不去旧的不来 I mean 旧的不去新的不来
Meaning that if you
no lah, I'm
no
kidding.
lah. Okay, yeah, but it's the thing that we talked about long time ago. It is about how like you have been through it once, you know that you won't die for real.
Correct.
Yeah.
So as long as you've been through your first few heartbreaks, I guess subsequently you just know how to deal with it better lah.
Yeah.
And I think the best way for me to deal with it is also to hold a very high regard to this relationship, and like respect it enough to know when to stop and let go lah. And respect it enough to know that you don't have to be in a relationship to love this other person. And also try to be very objective, as in why this is not working. Because as much as love is still very emotional based, right, there is also a certain logic to why sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And you have to face it.
Yes, and actually what I want to say is this, that it's a very emotional based kind of thing, but unfortunately, right, because of societal structure and the environment that you are in, it just cannot work out, lor. And it just cannot work out. This physical world here cannot allow this love to continue.
Correct. Yeah. So I think having a closure for the other person and for yourself is very important, lor. And it can't be sought by throwing a tantrum, or it can't be sought by inciting a reaction. All of this has to come from you, from a place of, I guess, surrenderance and respect that this is going to end, and I want to make this ending as graceful as beautiful as I can lah. Then I'll move on from here. It takes a decade.
Yeah, it takes at the point where the relationship ended, then obviously you won't see it, and then your body also will not feel that. But I think maybe a few years down the road, then I think the best case scenario is that you look back, and then you have very beautiful memories, but also then the healing part that you do after the relationship has ended is also a gift for you for the next relationship.
Precisely.
If there is, and if you want.
Yeah, you want to lah.
A next relationship.
Yeah. So that's the best way I think I can deal with a relationship ending lah, I feel.
Okay. Yeah, I think we have come to the end of this podcast, which is I think that with each episode, right, we become messier and messier.
Why?
I think today's podcast has a lot of things going on.
Yes, because
also,
we are talking about love, and it can
Correct.
be so can encompass so many things.
Correct. I think in the beginning we sort of thought that we will have nothing to say about it because we are so guarded.
Yeah.
But
then
then
I feel like we need to have another episode on this, right? Because I
for
feel
LDR,
Correct.
for what, heartbreak, for
your
many
first
things.
love.
Oh my god, first
puppy
love. Yeah, I wrote down
your
there.
crush.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this thing called situationship just now, but never mind. Maybe we can look forward to another
Okay, so
love episode.
So situationship, right, is also a little bit that's why I asked, is our generation ready to put in the hard work for love? Because a lot of us, right, doesn't seem to be able to do the heavy lifting. Hence, we are in situationships.
Maybe because, but okay, if lah, there are just there's a phase. Okay, even if your relationship is very long or in your past, people that you encountered before, I think situationship is the stage where sometimes it's something before a relationship, a genuine. I don't want to say the word genuine because then it makes that situation
ungenuine.
Not genuine and not real, right?
Sometimes it's real, you know.
Yeah,
it's
real.
Two people don't know how to.
I think it's real, and that period of ambiguity can be sweeter than the relationship itself sometimes.
Sure, but if it is like prolonged ambiguity.
Okay, that one is very painful, so no thank you. But in that kind of situation, even though like or with different people, the short burst, right, can be
sweet lah.
Can be sweet, and I sort of like
courtship kind of situation lah.
Correct. And I think that one is quite fun to talk about also.
Yeah, quite fun.
Yeah, because like
but not fun to experience
correct.
it.
So to me, right, anticipating for a holiday is a very exciting feeling, like right? And in a holiday, I like the first few and the middle part of a holiday rather than the last day.
Of course, nobody likes.
It's the kind of feeling, and or like when I watch drama, like the second last episode is nicer than the last episode.
Oh yeah, usually.
Yeah, so it's that kind of like maybe we can
climax.
We can before the climax. Maybe we can talk more about this kind of like iffy things.
Okay. Our listeners, if you are still listening, right, after our rambling,
I thought I want to wrap up, but then actually,
let us know in our Instagram also, like our communications channel, right? Like, what else do you all wanna? Because we
feel very lonely sometimes because it's the two similar people talking, and some of you are very shy. You DM us, but I think if we get too many DMs, also sometimes we forget. Like after because our recording might have taken place like 1-2 months. Like there's a gap lah, and then sometimes when we go to the next recording, then we forget who told us about what in our DMs. So please be brave to leave some comments on our social media, our IG, and now Spotify actually allow you to rate podcasts.
Oh wow!
Give us 5 stars lah, like Grab driver. Give me the 5 star.
Why if we only 3 stars?
I think people who bother to listen.
Okay lah. Okay, if you bother to listen and bother to give us a star, give us a 5 star. If not, don't even do anything. Yes,
correct. Yeah. Right. So okay, finally. We have come to the Jinja for real last part of this episode. Our recommendations.
Okay.
What do you recommend? So this week I recommend this very weird Korean drama. Then Eric laughing, he judging me because I only Ajumas watch it, but later he's gonna
okay, you tell what.
Yes. So this is a very weird drama. It's not suited for everybody because it's not a mainstream kind of thing. It has a very certain artistic take and structure and editing and writing.
Art house film, is it?
It is a series called Be Melodramatic.
Like you.
So
like
Clara. You also okay. Yeah, so or like the translation is Melo Suits Me. It follows the lives of 3 best friends, females. So I know I like female protagonists also. They are 30 years old, and it takes 3 different sort of like perspective on love. So there is one character who's a single mother. The son is like 9 or 10 years old, but the son happened because of a one night stand. And then after that, the son's father is like irresponsible person. Like so after one night stand, he ran away lah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then the story follows her as she met a colleague. But the colleague also have an abusive girlfriend, and the colleague is younger than her. So there's this ambiguity between the two of them. But they help each other a lot at work and depend on each other a lot at work.
Work, wife, husband, like that.
Something like that. And then the second one is a director. Her boyfriend passed away, but she always hallucinate about the boyfriend being beside her, and she had various conversations with him, which are very productive conversations actually. So then they delve quite deep into this.
So she kept his spirit alive, basically.
Something like that. And then she went through all these characters they went through a entire process. And then the last one is a script writer. She ended up dating the spoiler the director, but their sort of relationship is quite funny also.
Why do you recommend this?
I recommend this because it looks like a very slow show. It's like the hospital playlist pace.
Okay.
But these are the precise, very, very intricate type of relationship and intricate writing and description of the things that will happen in our lives that is not like high kind of like love. Wow.
Not the
like,
climatic kind.
Not the climatic kind of love,
not
but
the Shakespeare kind.
correct, but
you know.
yeah, but I think no. Okay, then another topic. Okay, but it is kind of like very intricate things that and the script writing was good also. That was why I recommend this show for people who want to think more about love and the philosophies surrounding love and the different layers and depth lah. Yeah. So that was why I recommended.
Yeah, a lot of people think that love is very one-dimensional, right? I love you, then we go in, we get married.
Correct.
Right? But then again, this drama also shows that there are so many intricate, I guess, depth.
Yeah.
To
and
love.
that the outcome of this love, right, doesn't necessarily overlap into the marriage thing.
Marriage narrative.
Which is the marriage narrative, which also comes from the
so
romance,
sad.
lust, and love. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a good show to watch.
Okay, thanks for your recommendation.
Yeah. And
I'm going to recommend a very trashy reality TV. It's called Singles. No, I'm kidding. I want to say Singles Inferno.
Actually, I do recommend people to watch because before that I watched Love Island Australia. Oh my god, that is so trashy. It's like after my max for Love Island Australia was like 2 episodes. After that, right, I feel that my brain
IQ
like
dropped.
Yeah, my IQ dropped.
Okay, I'm not recommending Singles Inferno because I think a lot of you
have already watched but it's a good show for to observe human interaction
in a space,
in a highly controlled and sometimes scripted space, but still for me it's interesting to observe human beings.
Human behavior, right?
Yeah, correct.
It's like how I'm interested in you, and then you need to show me attention. If not, then I'll be interested in other people. Y'all,
I really like in the first 5 seconds of the show, I already know that GR is sus. Why nobody believe me? And why
a lot of people love her, you know.
Correct.
She has this charm that is quite
why? Yeah, she just not.
enticing.
I know why people will be charmed by her. But I also know that she just will not be my kind of person.
Who will be your kind of person in the show?
What's the sporty one?
So-yeon.
Yeah.
Is it So-yeon or Soo-yeon? So-yeon.
Yeah, the sporty one that can do a lot of sports one.
Yeah.
I think she will I can at least in the office setting work with her, that kind. Yes.
At least in the office.
Even though she gaslight the guy, then the guy also gaslighted her.
Yeah.
But sorry, I got carried away by talking about this trashy show.
I think we should shun down this part.
No.
Edit away.
Why?
What is my recommendation? Okay, in my notes I said write a love letter. Yeah. But I think I changed my mind halfway.
Again, you say every single episode, Eric cannot decide on what he wants to recommend.
Because I got a lot of things to recommend. I don't know. But just stick to what I planned, which is to write a love letter. I think, when was the last time you even write a letter, right? Don't say email that you send, an angry email that you send to your boss.
I write letters frequently, remember?
You write cards, right?
Cards which comprise or become a letter, because very wordy one.
Okay, so I feel like the art of letter writing is very soothing.
Lost.
It's lost, unfortunately. Yeah, and I'm old school that way. I really love to receive written notes. I love to write letters because there are just some tender thoughts that you can't express in other forms.
Yes, I totally agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So if let's say you want to express your love, I think letter writing is a good medium lah. Yeah. And even if you don't have a partner to write letters to, you can write a letter to, I guess, your friend, whoever that, to show your appreciation and gratitude.
Do you throw love letters away, or do you
I keep all of them.
Yeah, same.
I keep all of them. I know of friends who do because
Like
maybe
must burn
yeah,
one.
must burn because maybe to them it's like, oh, end of a chapter, I want to move on, and then like, you know, it's just a sign of, it's like a ritual lah, right? Same lah, 旧的不去，新的不来, right?
Yeah.
So I explained that it's
If you cannot get rid of the old, you cannot welcome the new.
Yes. So that's that long.
Yeah,
so
and I think the sense of reading and receiving a handwritten letter for me, right? The handwriting of the person, when I see the person's handwriting, it gives me it will evoke within me a certain feeling also.
like the personality of the person just shine through also,
Correct.
right? Unless obviously if the handwriting is like chicken scratch like that.
But also chicken scratch, then I will know, is this person's handwriting lah.
Yeah, very endearing
Maybe it's
also,
the
right?
teacher part of me also. But I mean,
Okay.
even before I became a teacher, like handwriting is something that is very it's very endearing to me also.
Yes.
Like different people, like I know your handwriting is like what. Eric's handwriting is very neat.
Really?
Yeah. Do you still have the same handwriting? It's like a bit bigger than small size. And then
As if you can, as if the
I remember
listener
his
can-
handwriting. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so any random lah, but besides the content that I like to receive from, then the handwriting evokes a kind of sense of endearment
right?
for the person.
Yeah, and you leave a piece of you to that person too.
Yeah. At one point I used to spray perfume.
Oh yeah, you can send it. I mean, it's
So
a
old
thing.
school.
It's a
Last
thing
time,
lah,
very
yeah.
childish. Like, cause I have
Why?
a signature scent.
What is it?
Last time.
From the Poo-Pourri one, Poo-Pourri.
What? Okay, never mind. So, yes, okay, thank you for your recommendation, Eric.
Thank you.
Please, anyone out there, you want to write a love letter to
us.
Eric, please send to P.O. Box. You can send to me, I'll help you pass to Eric. Yes.
Why cannot send me directly?
You can send to him directly, sorry. If you send to me, I might take a peek at it and then before I send it to him. Yes, so thank you for listening to us today and we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Yes, of Someplace Warm. Bye.